All right, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I plan my days, my weeks, and my months. And this will get me to about $100,000 to $150,000 per month in profit with my agency. And this is exactly what I'm doing to make sure I stay on the right path. I do what I'm supposed to do, and also I reflect and see what I could be doing better, so I do not waste my time or spend time in things that doesn't get me closer to my goal. So let's dive in. First of all, it's broken down into two documents. Now, I'm going to share two links below so you can start using this yourself, but I also encourage you to kind of create your own version because then you'll understand it better and you'll actually use it. So to start off with, it's split up into two documents. The first one is the execution plan, and the second one is what I call like the CEO daily ritual. So this is what I do every single day. I have these two pinned in my browser. As you can see, the first document, if I press Command 1, on my computer, I'm gonna go into my action plan. So it's basically split up into two documents. The first document is the execution plan, where I basically have all of my tasks, what I need to focus on, and what's actually important. And in the second document, I have some sort of ritual that I do in the start of each day and the end of each day to basically make sure I'm on track. And also I read through my why and all that stuff, which I'm gonna explain in a second. So to start off with, the execution plan is where I set my focus. There is 3 or 4 sheets in here. Yeah, there's 4 sheets in here. Now, these sheets or documents is broken down into different segments. We have the goal. This is where we write out the goal in explicit detail, and I also have to give some credit to Cameron England because he's the one that actually showed me this one and the execution plan on the daily level. And I kind of took some inspiration and made my own thing. So first of all, we want to write the goal. We want to break down the goal. So let's say my goal here is to hit, let's say, $250,000 per month revenue, or whatever it's, if it's profit. In my document, it actually says profit right here. Yeah. So what is the goal? We want to explain the goal in explicit detail, exactly what that means, how many team members you'll have, how many clients you'll have, and what that actually looks like. Then we also want to write why we want to achieve this goal, what the challenges will be overcoming, what challenges we have to overcome to achieve the goal, and who you need to work with to overcome the obstacles and acquire the skills to achieve this goal. So essentially, we want to break down this goal in a very clear way so we know exactly why we're doing it, what we're going to have to go through to achieve it. Yeah, again, why we want to achieve it, when we will achieve it, and trackers to make sure we're on course, main areas of improvement, etc., etc. So we want to break down this goal by following these questions, and it just makes it so much easier to see exactly what needs to be done. And this also, there's a bunch of studies on this, but breaking down your goal in this specific and particular way will actually help you get to the goal faster because the brain thinks of it in a different way. I think I heard Alex Huberman, a podcast with Alex Huberman and another girl talking about how to hit your goals. And they actually talked about not getting dopamine from telling the goal, but you should think about the obstacles. Like, what will be the hardships? Why do I want to achieve this? And then why will it be hard? Because then you'll think about the goal in a different way and it will be way easier. So this is where I have my goal breakdown. Now in here, we also have 3 different templates. Now, what I do on a daily basis is I make a duplicate of this and I name it after the date. So I rename this August, whatever the date is, like this, 2025, like this. And then I write what the highest leverage tasks are. So let's say this is building out X tracker and something else. So we want to write what the highest leverage tasks are on a daily basis in here. And we want to keep it on a kind of on a daily basis so we can actually get these things done and they're not just here stored in the document. So we want to write out what the highest level tasks are for the day. And then I also have something called get done priority 1 from task storage. So my task storage is in the weekly template. This is where we have all of the tasks that are like, you should do them, but they're not high priority, if that makes sense. So an example of this would probably be like pay X invoice, or delegate, or maybe like create Y SOP. We want to have tasks that are a little bit more, you don't need to get them done right now. They're not the highest leverage, but you want to get them done. So we store them in the weekly template. And then we basically update them in here on the priority one. So the things that actually needs to be done today, but they're not the highest leverage. So like if an invoice needs to be paid today, I'm going to put them in here, get done priority one, because it's pretty high priority, but it's not highest leverage, if that makes sense. Also, when I delegate things, I just like to keep track of them. So in the daily template, like in the action for today, what I'll do is I'll just write things that I've delegated so I can keep track and make sure that they're getting done. So if I'm waiting for something, let's say waiting, or if I've delegated, let's say, creating 5 ads, and then I've delegated this and it's there, so I don't have to think about it basically. So this is the daily one. The daily one I use every single day, and this is going to tie into the daily CEO ritual as well. But the daily, I use this every single day. I look at this multiple times every single day. This is where my focus is. And I essentially want to get as many of these things done. And the thing is, I planned this the day before, which I'll also go through. So I do not have to focus on this. This is like, it's already done. I just take action. So then we got the weekly tracker. This is something I fill out on a weekly basis, and I do the exact same thing. I make a copy of this. I put it in here so I can basically see my daily templates and my weekly templates. I just rename this after the week. So today's Sunday, so I'll do like August 17th to, 24th? 2025. And I see the dates. Then what I also typically do with my daily one is I put these swords right here, so I see which one I'm actually on. So when I have, tens and essentially I also later on the line maybe hundreds of these daily like documents in here, I'll know which one I'm on. So it's very easy to just like clear the emoji when you create a new one, and you set the other one to the active one essentially. So the weekly template, we want to break down what the three biggest constraints are, or the biggest constraints. It doesn't have to be 3, it can be whatever. So essentially what we want to do is we want to, write what the biggest constraints are. So let's say churn is the biggest, is one of the biggest constraints. Let's say show up rate, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's churn and show up rate. So what is the needle moving rocks to make sure that I solve these two? So maybe this is building a new ISA script will help with churn so we can qualify more people. And churn, maybe this is speaking more. Well, we want to have actionable steps here. So maybe creating or building a master fulfillment sheet for all partners. And we basically want to have things in here that will solve these constraints. So these tasks here will be focused on this. And then we will basically break this down. When I fill this out on a weekly basis and when I fill this out on a daily basis, I will take a look and see what my biggest constraints are, what I need to do. And then I'll break that down into smaller segments in the daily one. So I know what I need to focus on daily. And automatically my constraints will be solved because I'm acting based on that, if that makes sense. And then we also have the task storage. So if I have something that needs to be done, I'll just add it in here. This needs to be done, etc. And that's pretty much it on the weekly basis. Now we also have a monthly template. Now the monthly template is essentially pretty simple. What we want to write is we want to write what projects we're working on. So what projects will you complete this month? This can be big things. So I want to build an automated billing system. And these are just projects that I want to be working on and that I want to complete during the month. So again, build out an automated billing system, maybe fully delegate B2C marketing, etc. And I want to write the things that I'm actually getting done. And then I want to set some goals, what I will achieve. So I want to set my revenue, what I'm planning to hit revenue. Let's say I want to hit my first 100K per month, or I wouldn't say want to. You should set your projections and what you're aiming for, and typically aim higher so you get that kind of pressure on yourself. Profit, let's say I want to have a 33% margin. So let's say, let's see, why is this bold? Yeah, let's just say 30,000. And then I also want to set some specific numbers, which can be churn, CAC, LTV. So I want to have a, let's say, sub 15% churn. I want to have a CAC under 1,500, and I want to have my LTV at 7,000, whatever it is, and 6,000. And then we want to fill this out. Now, in the end of the month as well, I also want to write the actual numbers so we can see that I'm staying on track. And I also recommend having some sort of tracker on this so you can see what you're actually projected to do. So if you're at $10,000 per month, yeah, you can get to 100,000 in 1 month, depending on your model, but is it realistic? And you want to set your goals so you actually achieve them. So I recommend using some sort of tracker to break down exactly what you will achieve, set those standards higher, and then push yourself to achieve them. So that's basically it on a monthly, weekly, and daily template and the goal breakdown. So all of these together will make sure that you're actually focusing on what's important, because it's very easy to do busy work. The busy work is like creating a logo, responding on Slack, responding to text, and client fires. Maybe a client needs some help, and things that you maybe should not be doing, depending on what stage you're at. So this just helps you stay on track and get things done that are actually important. So then we have the daily CEO ritual. So what I do is I just paste this in all of my templates like this. Yeah, so it's right there. It should be right here as well. And it should also be right there. So what this does is, or what I do is every single day, I go in and I use this daily CEO. Okay, so I actually see that it's mine that's linked. So I will just change it up to this one. This is the copy, right? Yes. Awesome. So in this document, I basically read this every single day before I start my work. So at the start of each day, I put my phone in another room, and then I read through my entire vision board. So you want to have some sort of vision board, put it in here. I basically read through it and I make it perfect. So if there's anything that I thought of, is there anything I want to achieve, if there are any ideas I have, I'll put it in my vision board and I'll store it there. Then I also have a document with my why. Like, why do I do this? Why do I actually want to build a company? Why do I actually want to scale to millions and millions of dollars per month? Like, why do I actually want to do that? And so I break down my why in 7 layers. And so, right, why do I want to achieve this? Then why do I want to achieve that? And why do I want to do that? And then why, until you get to your root cause of why are you actually doing this? So I put that in there and I read through it. Then I do 10 minutes of visualization. Now, visualization. People have multiple opinions on doing visualization. I love it because, to be honest, when I was at probably like $5,000 per month, I hit my first $30,000 per month by visualization. Like, I truly believe that was one of the main things that made me go to 30,000. And now I've actually started doing it again. But now I'm doing it with my other goals, right? So how I will achieve $150,000 per month in profit and removing myself completely from the agency. Okay. That's the thing that I want to do. $150,000 per month in profit, remove myself from the agency, have the best thing possible. And that's my goal. So I just basically take 10 minutes of visualization and I visualize it. So I want to be able to see it in here and really feel it, and that's when it will happen. Then I read through the daily ritual from yesterday, because in the end of each day, I write my daily revenue, what the biggest the biggest constraint is, like what is stopping the company from growing, and I explain it in detail, and what is the solution, and it just makes me go back on track. So after I've slept the entire night, I wake up and I'm a little bit tired. I just read through this and I'm back on track again. Cool. And then I also get ready for work. So that means like go to the toilet, grab some water, make sure everything, like headphones, I have a charger for it, so I don't have to leave my chair, go up, like start walking, start finding things. I just make sure I'm ready. And then I just cross all of these off. In the end of the day, as I said, I go through all of this. I plan tomorrow. So I go through this right here and I look at what I've done. I cross everything off. The things that I haven't crossed that are still high leverage, what I do is I just make a copy I take out the things that I've done. I keep the things that is not done, so not done. I keep this right here and I focus on it tomorrow. And the plan is to get everything done, but most of the times you will not get everything done because we just write everything and think we're going to get done. But then when we look back, we haven't done all of it. So essentially, yeah, I just redo this and I plan it. And then I basically drag this to the top, set the, you guys know the sword emoji, so I know which one is active because these will stack up really fast. And then, yeah, I just make sure I see if the delegated things are completed. I also redo my priority task based on what tasks I have in here, make sure everything's clean. And then I have planned everything, so I write down here. Then how can you save more time slash be more productive? I write what I'm doing on a daily basis that is like not keeping me productive. So as an example, this like a week ago was using my phone way too much. I was using my phone way too much. So I noticed a pattern on my SEO ritual that I was not feeling focused and my phone was in the room. I kept checking my phone all the time. So I deleted all social media and yeah, that's pretty much it. So now when I want to post, if I post something on Instagram or I post something, I will download the app, post it, and then delete it again. And that will probably not be forever, but for right now, it's necessary. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then also, I want to take a moment to reflect on where we are and the momentum abundance you have, because I've also like these things that I have right now. As an example, I'm in Dubai right now, and I remember just like a couple of months back, I was like, oh, imagine if I could just go to Dubai and work from there. And now I actually have it. So I also want to kind of stay a little bit humble and be like, okay, I'm actually on the right path. And then I also want to visualize. And so typically here, I maybe grab a piece of pen and paper. I write down exactly what I want to achieve, etc., etc. Now, also, you watching this requires discipline. It's actually hard doing this consistently. So just try to have it as your routine. And yeah, I guarantee that if you actually use this, there's no way you're not going to hit your goals, because this literally forces you to work in the right direction. And if you're not working at all, then yes, you will not achieve it. But if you do this for a long enough period of time, then there's no way you won't achieve your goal, because you're breaking it down. You're making sure you're on track. You are literally breaking down on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, to make sure that you're doing the right things. And if you do the right things for a long enough period of time, you will achieve your goals. Like, I'm so sure I'm going to scale to $150,000 per month in profit with my agency. I'm going to remove myself, and then I'm going to start my new company, and I'm going to get to $1 million per month, 2 million, 3 million, and etc. I already know that I'm going to do that because it's literally so easy. I just have to do the things that this document says. And if I do the things that this document kind of states for me, then I'm going to achieve it after long enough time. And that's pretty much it. There's also more things like using trackers, reflection. I also have like a weekly reflection doc now where every single week I go in and I reflect on the week and see what I could have done faster or what I could have done better, why I'm not at my goal yet. Because this is also a big thing. Like, you can be at your goal right now. Why are you not there yet? And I was at a mastermind in Greece about 2 weeks ago. And there was this guy there that had a talk, and he spoke to me directly when he had his presentation. And he asked me, like, why haven't you achieved your goal? Like, why are you not making more money? And I, of course, I'm like, giving excuses, like, I don't know, like, maybe my why is not big enough. And he just kept asking, like, why haven't you achieved your goal? And it was such like a big shift for me, where I'm like, I'm being an absolute bitch about this. Why have I not reached my goal? Because there's other people right now that are making 50, 100, 1 million times the amount that I'm making. So that gave me a really good kind of perspective on everything. And yeah, you're watching this. If you implement these, I guarantee that you will grow faster, you'll achieve your goals, and you'll crush it. And that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to drop these 2 templates in the chat. I'm going to make them open right now and drop them in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed.